that I made to make the change in my life was to throw my hands up and ask God to take over. That's really the only consciousness.
You are listening to A Cup of SonRise, where we know a yawn is a silent scream for coffee. Now your host, Pastor Joe and Stada Indy. And good morning. You are on A Cup of SonRise. I'm Pastor Joe with the one and the only amazing SonRise. All right, she's still with us. And guys, look, we have a full studio. How cool is that? We have, guys, let me tell you something. We have got some amazing guests today, all the way from the East Coast to sitting right here. We're going to be talking about the Branson Film Festival. And I got to be part of the first two. And absolutely love Deborah,
Yes.
who is the brainstorming child behind this. I have the one and only Michelle King is on video with us from the East Coast. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
I've got the one and only Mr. Dale Norman Green
Howdy.
over here. And, of course, Miss Gayla Pruitt, who is a regular, from what I understand, here at Axe Media Group. Now, Dale, I went back and I watched some of your older movies.
You did?
I did.
How old were they?
Well, you had darker hair.
Oh, great.
I
She dyed it today just for you.
I'm glad you went with the gray
character.
look. I'm glad you got that memo.
Yeah.
Okay, Dale, we're only doing salt and pepper today. All right, so I appreciate that. But guys, we've got Michelle. She is so many things. She's got a busy schedule. Mom, actress, entrepreneur, theatrical productions, and she has more things that she's coming on the next journey we're going to be talking about, because this is just part one. We've got another program scheduled later on down the road with them and Dale, who is award-winning script writer. This isn't your latest, Sugar Creek?
Sugar Creek is my latest.
That is your latest?
Yes.
And of course, Secrets of the Black Forest.
Secrets of the Black Forest is the very first one that I wrote, and that will come to fruition in the Lord's timing.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started to watch one. It was on YouTube.
Which
it was a scary one. I got within like 60 seconds. I'm done.
Yeah, Joe doesn't do scary shows.
Can you describe what you saw?
Yeah.
Check, please.
It was one of your older ones. I got it 60 seconds. Okay, I'm done. It may have been a very good one, but I'll let Stada watch that one. And then I've got Gayla Pruitt, award-winning script writer, actress, news producer, reporter.
Long time ago.
It was a weekend anchor as well. And I was on the news once, but it was not behind the desk. I had pretty bracelets on. Anyway, guys, we're going to be talking about the Branson Film Festival coming up. What year is this? Is this year number
6?
We were discussing that. Yes, last year was their fifth anniversary celebration. And
I missed the fifth one, and I missed the third and the fourth. Let's see. The first year I emceed.
Okay.
The second one I emceed. Then we did one 2 years ago where Deborah says, "Yeah, you're done," after the bathroom fiasco. Yeah.
He went into the wrong one.
I went in. Okay, so I'm over there, and it was a real fancy place. And I walked in and went, "Wow, this is really a nice bathroom. It's got all these stalls. There's no urinals." I'm like, "Well, that's weird." So I go to a stall and I come out, and of course we're on stage. When I realized what I'd done, I thought, "Okay, this will be funny."
He was marking his territory.
I was. And so there was on there, and I couldn't see which bathroom was which. And so I was on stage, thought I'd make a joke out of it because I realized what I did. The next morning, there was a big white paper, women's. So
just for you.
Yeah. And so a couple years later, 2-3 years later, Deborah says, "Okay, Joe, you're not emceeing because you don't know what the bathroom is." So Petra was doing it that year, and said, "You can do security."
Well, Joe, if it makes you feel any better, it takes two of us to MC in your absence.
Yeah,
So.
see?
It would only take, I was only half an MC because Deborah looked at me, so you're more of a M. So anyway, but I love Branson International Film Fest. I love the films. Some amazing people come through there. Now, how are I'm going to ask Dale, how are you involved? And then we're just going to go down the circle. How are you involved? What are you doing there? That kind of thing over at the Branson International Film Fest.
Well, this is really strange that I met Deborah Watson in the Orlando Film Festival back in Florida. And we found out that we lived in the same town, Branson, and we met in Orlando. And that's when I found out about the Branson Film Festival. I've submitted some scripts in the past, and then I was confronted or coerced into being an MC this year.
Yeah. There you go. And how about you, Gayla?
Well, I met Deborah. I don't think I met her at Orlando. We've met at Orlando too, and found out that we were. I'll tell you a little story. He always submits scripts in all the same film festivals that I do, and he always beats me. He always beats me. Well, and this year I thought, okay, I'm not doing any scripts. Now, obviously, we don't do anything in the Branson because we're affiliated with it. But so this year I submitted a proof of concept to a big film festival, and guess what? Dale did that too.
So we're constant competitors,
yes.
but all in Christ's love.
There you go. Okay, Michelle and Howard. Now you're way out on the East Coast. How'd you meet Deborah, and how'd you get wrapped up?
Well, I'm a little bit more Midwest. I'm Indiana, so not exactly full East Coast, but more in that direction.
There's no ocean.
So there's no ocean in Indiana. No, absolutely not. Just George Strait. Knock off of that song, there's, anyway, yes, there's no oceanfront property. We have 85 million lakes, but we do not have any oceans of any sort. Anyway, so I auditioned for Not Too Far From Here, sent in, actually what she asked was you to send in why you would like to be a part of the project. And this was pre-COVID. And then everything got cattywampus, as we all know, with that. And I stayed in touch and just let her know that I was interested. And then last year, I wanted to be a part of the Actor's Voice. And so I went and got to know her a lot better, participated in the Actor's Voice. I actually was with Dale in a group. I actually have a really cool picture I can show you guys with us because we were so cool, weren't we, Dale? And then a relationship blossomed, and we are, I'm working together with her more, and she's taken me under her wing to teach me because I want to have my own production company and doing some different stuff. So it just she calls me her mini me, and her husband's like, no. So it's great.
All right. So now there's a lot more. There is, like I said, the very first one that I was a part of, the very first year that they put this out, it's grown quite a bit.
Yes, it has.
We were down over in, where was that? Where's that at? That was one of the nice, they had a theater in the hotel, and I'll think of it here in a minute, right off the lake. But we were down there, and Deborah had sent me a script to kind of go with the awards and things, and she had music going on, so I had to make sure that I didn't get long-winded. I had this amount of time, and I was blowing it. I was really bad at it. But now, man, she's added the music. She's added a lot of different things coming up with this, and thank you, sir, very much. And coffee. Now we can communicate. So now you're having a 48-hour film festival. And with Actors Voice working together. Mm-hmm. Is that right, Dale?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you can get more information. What's the website they can get more information on? We're going to be mentioning the website several times.
It is bransonfilmfestival.com. bransonfilmfestival.com.
Now, you guys have got a couple of things that's really cool. I've seen on there where people on the music side, where they can send in a tape or music accompaniment. And I know they got to have that in. I think was it May 18th. They've got to have that in. That information's on the website.
On the website, because I know some of the deadlines are kind of evolving. She's trying to give people as much time as possible to submit.
Right.
So they need to keep checking that website for the latest.
Because everything's changing on there. You're adding more things in there. I mean, it is so much larger than the first year. It's really exciting to see that more films are coming in.
Yes.
I know the last one that I was at with the different films from all over the world was absolutely amazing.
Yes, it is. It's truly international. I mean,
it is truly.
I one year got to interview last year, I think, or the year before, I got to interview a little girl who had submitted a film she lived in Ukraine, and that was before things got so bad.
Right.
But so yeah, I mean, people from all over the world. So
And now on the music, you can put it in, you can send in to the website, which is, say that for me again.
BransonFilmFestival.com.
Okay, go over to there. When you can submit your music to it, you're going to be auditioning with your song. I mean, I even thought about auditioning. The problem is I can't sing. Other than that, it'd be another bathroom fiasco like we had last time. So anyway, I'm not going to do that. But now on the films that are coming in now, is it just because it's not just people from Missouri that's putting in films?
No.
We're talking. Give us some of the countries. Do you know where some of the films are at now that's been put in? Put you guys on the spot.
The origin, I'm not
sure on
privy to
that. No, and all that would be on the website as well. I do know there's 2 films that are from the area that they're going to be screening as well. One of them is from Anita Cordell, and it's
I Will Rise.
Yes, and it's about human trafficking, I believe,
Yes,
and it's
I think
quite
so, yeah.
impactful. And we also have another local person, Ducon
Williams, and he's got a film called Silencing Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he made a lot of awards a couple of years ago with Vincent's Vow.
Yes.
That was a great one. We watched that one.
Yes, he's an amazing filmmaker.
He,
and has
he
an
won
amazing
all
career.
over with that film.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, he can act and direct and edit and write. Incredible talent.
And all the actors, I mean, it was amazing. We have a lot
was.
of local talent here too. And so, but yes, there's films from all over the world. I think some from Africa, I believe.
This year.
I know,
think so.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I know there has been in the past. So
She had a wide range of them. The last one that I was involved with, there was a range from all over the world. It was
Yes.
absolutely amazing. Some of the talent,
oh yes.
not just in acting, but in producing. There was one, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was one from overseas, and it was about a crippled man, his life story.
Yes, that was
Oh, yes, I
very
remember that.
powerful.
It was
Mhm.
so powerful that I'm
Mhm.
watching this, and there's not a lot of dialogue in it,
Right.
but it was just so you're sitting in there going, and just in there, just his life. So guys, you're going to have films in this all the way from, you're going to have your action, you're going to have your dramas, you're going to have a little bit of everything, comedy,
Right.
in everything.
But they're all inspirational, faith-based, of course.
And that's one of the great things with this is because it is faith-based. Because one of the things, asking all 3 of you guys being in the industry, because it's and I was talking to someone at the Branson International Film Fest, and they were making a statement, and I totally agreed with the statement, that a lot of the faith-based films is almost like your national Hallmark. Okay, everything's got that positive ending, everything comes on good and all that. Are we seeing some of that change happening in the film fest? I just watched one with Kevin Sorbo where his wife actually died at the end.
Right. Let There Be Light.
Let There Be Light.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Good
great
movie.
Very
movie,
powerful.
powerhouse
Yes.
movie. So where she passed away at the end of it, so actually where life shows.
Yeah.
Are we starting to see a change in some of that? In some of the faith-based films?
I believe so.
Yes, I think so too. I think they're becoming, and I don't want to say more sophisticated, but they're becoming more varied. And so, yes, more real world application.
And we need that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and it's speaking to people, I think, that way. So, yes,
Yeah,
I
because
believe
not
so.
everything is the super happy ending.
No, I mean, if
That's
it was,
not realistic,
everyone,
right?
everyone be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, yeah, when you become a Christian, doesn't mean it's all roses.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Jesus didn't have it all roses.
Right,
So,
absolutely.
Good
you
point.
know.
That is a great point. Michelle, what are you seeing on your end of the film, the Christian film industry?
Yeah, there is a lot of talk about that. I have a lot of friends and family who are in the faith-based world. They're Christians, and then a lot who are not. And, they talk about kind of the Hallmark-esque-ness of it, of having the happy ending. And it's kind of a bit of a dichotomy, because people are saying, on one hand, I don't want to go watch a movie to get depressed. I want to go watch a movie to be
Right.
entertained.
Right.
Or to
However,
escape.
Or to escape, exactly. Entertain or escape, exactly, Dale. But the other end of that is people who are thinking or watching Christians are frustrated with everything being so happy, whatever. And it isn't always like that,
Absolutely.
just like you're saying. And it's like, we need to deal with real stuff. And the truth is if we were to make the Bible into movies, it would be R and
Yeah.
probably
Oh
some
my
X-rated
goodness
in some
Yes.
senses of it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
we need to meet people where they're at. The time of the revival, of the tent revival and people coming in that way off the get-go is not there. I'm not saying there isn't going to be revival and there isn't revival and there isn't people coming into the church, but because of social media and the world and how we're all connected but not connected and stuff, we have to be able to meet people where they are. And there's so many people who are not peopling, you know what I mean? They're hiding and they're hurt and they're staying behind their screens and they're watching things, and we need to be able to reach in there and say, I see you, I hear you, I
Yes.
understand you. But yes, in the midst of that, there is still some hope here, but you need to know that I see you and I feel you. And I'm not saying that everything's going to be so much better, but you're going to have somebody who loves you beyond anything in this entire universe who will walk with you with it. And in the end, you will win, that kind of
Yep.
thing. And there needs to be a shift of that.
Well, I think with one of the things that Deborah's doing this year, now correct me if I'm wrong, because is it streaming? You're streaming the videos. They can go online. So because if everybody can't make it to Branson, they're able to. You're streaming the videos.
It's beyond streaming.
Okay.
It's actually a virtual reality type experience from what I understand, and they can have their own avatars and
it's tough to explain too.
yeah, we're not the best at explaining it, but yeah, so yeah, they get to actually pick and actually
So
it's like they're there.
So they are going to actually be able to create an avatar.
Yes.
Take that avatar into the movie, have a seat.
Yes.
And then watch the movies. I'm assuming like a selection that you'll get to watch, that kind of thing.
That's the
so,
way I
yeah.
understand it. And they can interact with each other. The avatars can even. So
Really?
that's what I understand. Is that what you understand too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it clean.
Well, I was just trying to think. I want to sit by somebody who's buying the virtual popcorn.
I was going to say. And I think you can do things like that, I believe. So yeah, it's quite an experience.
And
It's
Deborah's
kind of
the
like
video-
what Deb said to me was like it was a game that you're walking into, almost like a game. Like think of Jumanji,
Like
you're picking your person. Yes, and then obviously faith-based, but you're then going and having different selections, and she wants to expand it where it's to a level where you can have casting directors go in and say, hey, I want to look at who are some actors and actresses or maybe crew members. So I go through this door and I select this, and there's some people who are there. So it's the metaverse is what she calls it. And,
Yes.
it's a new term and we're all like, but it sounds like it has some really good promise.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking because I did a film with Deborah some years ago. I had short hair.
Was that Taney
and it was
Como?
dark. No, it wasn't. No.
Okay.
She wouldn't put me in that quality of one. But no, it was a great film, but I ended up on the cutting room floor, so I'm scared to go to the movie because Deborah might kick me out. So, but
I don't think so.
I played a dog groomer, and then I ended up on the floor. So
Good grief.
maybe I was needing my belly rubbed. I don't know. But anyway, so there's a lot of different. Not only are you able to go physically and go watch, because that's one of the cool things is they spend time at this event in Branson, and you can come in and watch. For one fee, watch all the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, without being in Branson yourself.
Yeah, without being in Branson, or you
Right.
can actually come in, listen to the speakers. You can also with the music, with the speakers, because they also have like some training in. If I remember correctly, they're doing training with some of the or different things like that. Is that right? I know that was the past. That was the
I'm
past
not aware
ones.
of that, but
Okay.
I'm not
in
saying
that case,
they're
ignore
not.
me.
No,
Ignore
you
me,
probably
and,
know.
We'll just
Not
keep
aware
on
of it.
going. But there's so many, and there's talented people from all around
Yes.
that comes to these. So if you're if you're local, or even
Yes.
if you're not local, and you want to be involved, or maybe take a look at some new work, get some new ideas or things
Right.
like that. This really is the place to be for that, because you're going to meet all these writers, producers, directors.
Exactly.
Oh, networking is incredible. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that was huge at every event I've been to over that, and I've met some amazing people. Now I'm never been a great actor, not even an actor, but I just wish to be great. But just the people you get to meet on a faith based on what you have in common and that support and that encouragement over there. So, guys, if you're going to this event, you're going to be in Branson. Do we have a date on this event?
Yes, we do.
June 2nd through 4th. It's
and you can get
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, go Friday. You can go in Friday. And then what are they doing? The movies? Are they doing sections every day, or?
Yes, and actually this year it's called the Fringe Fest because they're including a lot of things, but also location is what Deborah said, and they're going to be at the God and Country Theater for check-in, but then she's acquired the Meadows Theater 11. Is that correct?
That's right.
And they're going to
Branson
screen
Meadows.
the films there. It's an actual movie studio with a big screen and everything. So, and what's really cool is people, if they come, the public, if they come, they get to see these films that nobody else has seen before anybody else gets to see them. When maybe they've been screened at other festivals, but sometimes they've not been out in the public yet. So they get to be some of the first ones to see these films.
Now, will they be able, when you watch the movies, whether it's through the virtual or will you be able to put some input on?
I'm sure they can make comments to the website and things like that. I don't know if there's anything formal structured. Do you know, Dale?
Not to my knowledge about comments.
Okay. Well, I'm going by the old ways,
right?
Or the old system, because that's where I'm at old. But with that, they had tables set up where some of the production vendors. Yeah, there we go. Vendors set up. Are they going to have vendors set up as well?
Yes, and that would that be at a different location as well?
I'm thinking that's at the God and Country Theater, I believe.
Will they be signing in?
But when they come to the sign up, that's where they'll sign up, and they'll have all that information for them there. So, and another thing we haven't talked about is the Food Fest. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
My next question was, let's talk about the Fringe, because that is about everything there. That was my next question. True. So now on this Fringe, because it's not just dealing with the international films, but we're talking that Food Fest was a big one, because I know me and Sada's already had the conversation. I'm wearing my stretchy pants. So tell us,
good idea.
Just in case. So tell us about the there's several of these going on, but tell us about that.
Well, there's several places to eat between all the locations, and Deborah's made contact with all of them. And the participants get to stop and eat wherever they'd like and drop off comments, and they can vote on their favorite and their best food place.
And then they're going to give them an award. The restaurant, they're going to recognize them at the award ceremony as the best.
That's a great promotion for the local businesses. They should love this.
Yeah.
Now, do you know some of the restaurants yet?
Oh my gosh, she
mentioned
them
off a whole bunch.
And I did take notes.
Dale, I was counting
no
on
idea
you.
You're
You had one job, Dale. One job, Dale.
She did mention like Baskins and Food Ruckers maybe, and all the ones in between. A lot of that, I don't know if all of them are participating.
There's quite a few in Branson.
Yes, but it'll be between those locations.
God and Country and the Branson Meadows Cinema 11.
Okay.
So the food places around those areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well put.
All right. So now we've got the food. What else on that Fringe because there was actually a list of them of the different things.
You did mention Fringe, by the way. It is the Branson Fringe Festival. Is another name. It's a celebration of various art forms and expressions.
Okay.
Yeah. So also there's a dance, singing, eating, acting, and writing.
And music.
Have we talked about the 48-hour film festival?
We have not talked about the 48-hour film festival. Enlighten us, Dale.
Gayla?
Oh, thank you, Dale. Well, this year they're going to have a 48-hour film festival, and I know everyone in the area anyway is kind of familiar with Sato, but this one's different because the actors, and actually Michelle would be more qualified to talk about that part of it, but they will be submitting reels, and so then producers and directors will have a chance to actually see the actors' work beforehand, and then they will be given some prompts, and they will be formulating their scripts and be choosing their actors from the reels. So they will have a little more time. I think then when they get to the festival, she's giving them a prop. So they have to include that also.
Yeah.
So this way, they have a little more time. They get to pick their actors. So everyone gets to be involved this way. And
the 48 hours is a lot of fun. I did the Sato 48. It's second and third year. Me and my crew did the Sato 48 and absolutely loved it. So it's going to be something similar to that.
Yes, and I think Michelle was about the actor's voice. That's kind of her.
All right, Michelle, we're coming to you for the actor's voice. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, it's kind of the Actors Voice 48-hour film festival is kind of combining together. Last year, there was the first year for the Actors Voice. That was a lot of fun. And then this year, she obviously wanted to expand. Deb's all about that, and that's great.
Yes.
So pretty much what Gail said, the actors will submit a 1 to 2 minute monologue, and then we have some judges who will go through and look at those and pick those who, meet some certain criteria of where they are in their journey. And then that list will be available for those who are going to participate in the 48-hour film festival. So you have a director and you have your crew and stuff like that. So they will, by May 1st, the 25th is for the Actor's Voice to turn their stuff in. So this is time is of the essence. People need to get in and get that stuff done. By May 1st, then, yes. And then by May 1st, the directors need to submit what they want to their storyline, about that. And then on the 15th, or they also will receive some of the information. She's not making everybody do the whole 40-hour. The first 24 hours they will have prior to the actual festival. A lot of times, probably like with the Sado, everything's in 48 hours. And, so you don't sleep for 2 days because you have to, write, direct, sound, edit, put it all together and all that other stuff. So they'll have a 24-hour time frame. Actually, it's longer than that to bring all of that to the festival, and then they will have an additional 24 hours from the list of actors and actresses. They will be able to choose who they want to be on their team. Yes, so they'll get to choose who they want on their team. We just last night were cooking up a possibility of maybe having a couple of local celebs who could also be a part of being a part of the prop. Because we want to kind of give everybody a twist. So she knows a lot of people. I think she knows everybody. And so she's looking at that. She does. So they'll be adding that to it. So then when they come to the film festival, then they get their location, and they get their extra prop. And that could be a thing. It could be a person. And that person could be kind of a wild card, so to speak. Then they do the rest of their stuff. Yes, very interesting. Yes, I'm excited about that. And then they'll turn everything in the next day. The directors and 2 of their crew get in free. And she's also wanting the actors and actresses who make it to be able to get in free as well. So that's what she's looking at doing for them. Anybody else who's on the crew will pay like a $30 fee because she recognizes people will be doing some of that versus being able to do the full-fledged hobnobbing and watching what they need to, etc. Then they also will have the opportunity to vote or nominate their favorite actor and actress in their particular story. And then we kind of go from there. And then there's a panel of judges who will go through and, as regular, judge the 48-hour festival kind of thing. And then there's some really cool prizes that will be going with that. So not only are you getting in free, you are having opportunity to hobnob here and there. You have cool prizes, possibly having maybe a couple local celebs, that could participate and make an appearance kind of thing. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on with that. And it kind of combines it together, so to speak.
There's something for everybody on this one. Now, you can go to the website and get those final dates and get that more information. I mean, here's the thing, whether you're a novice filmmaker or somebody wanting to get into it, maybe it's your first, if you've never done a 48-hour film, you need to do at least one in your life. They're so much fun, and you might get in trouble for snoring in the hallway as you're waiting for your guy to edit the film. Not that I would know about that, but they're an absolute blast, and they're a great experience for a new a novice or even experienced one, because there's things that's going to happen and you've only got a short time to fix it or reroute it.
Working under pressure.
I like that.
It really is a good thing. It really is. That. So now on the music, we talked a little bit about the music. Now, what is on the music? What is that going to be about? Because there's an award for the best music kind of like a? Is it going to be used for like a music score? I mean, what?
Way I understand is they're going to come and audition at the festival.
Yeah, live auditions.
Live
audition,
auditions,
okay.
and then they will pick the top 20, and then they get to perform at the awards ceremony a
Very
cappella, the Amazing Grace, and that'll be a big part of ending the ceremony. So they will be featured that way, and obviously their songs need to be family friendly as well.
Right.
And did you have anything to add to that, Danielle?
No.
Yes or no question. So
There we go. That narrows it down. Now, did we miss anything on the fringe? Because I want to cover it up because there's so much.
the dance we haven't really talked about.
Okay, the dance. Let's talk about the dance. Now, all this is new. I've not seen any of this in those, so I'm really excited about what's going on.
Well, and what I think's neat about that whole concept about the fringe, Deborah had talked about, really motion picture film incorporates all those things, music, dance, acting,
Yes.
all that. So it's kind of bringing everything together at this festival. So the dance, the way I understand it, is that they will also, I think they will send in tapes of their dance. I don't think it's live auditions. And then from that, but I could be wrong on that. But anyway, they will send in their auditions. And then from that, they will pick the top 3 performances. And then the rest of the dancers will be also a part of the ending ceremony. They will do a liturgical dance with the singers who are singing Amazing Grace. And so a liturgical dance, the way I understand it, is more for worship and what
Yes.
churches use.
Okay.
So, so they will, if they want to be a part of that, if their performance, and I don't know if they can do both, but anyway, if they want to be a part of that, they can come and audition for that at the festival, and then they will pick the top 20 and they will perform, they will rehearse during the festival, and then they will do the performance on the awards ceremony that night.
Very cool indeed.
How fun.
It kind of reminds me with everything that you, if I remember, Cam Arnett out of Atlanta.
Yes.
He has in all his different films, because they do the music, they do the dance, they do just a wide variety in his films as well. And he's another independent
Yes.
faith-based, and I love.
I think he used to be on
work.
Star Trek or something, and then
wow.
he, went to Christian faith-based.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna he had the whole school thing on it. I mean, he had his crew
Wow.
down one time and it was really fascinating. Super great guy, him and his wife, and a lot of awards as well. Now, on the film, I want to digress for just a moment because the general public tickets on that Friday. Make sure I got everything right in June.
Yeah, June 2nd through the 4th.
Is only $10 for general public. Is that?
I'm not sure about that. That's something to me. They better check
You
the
get
website.
for the movies at the Meadows.
Yes.
Okay, it's like
Yeah,
it's
right.
like only $10. At least that's what
our
my notes
understanding.
say.
I'm looking it up now. I'm looking it up now.
Thank
on my-
you, Michelle.
Yes, check
Yeah.
because I told to mess up. Ask my wife. All right. So, but for in both locations, or they can even come to the commons area only for free, is what a note that I've got.
Yes.
From.
Yes.
And then that commons area, you'll be able to hobnob and do those
Right.
different things
And meet the
working on that.
vendors,
Yeah.
that are there, that are
Speaking of
producers.
vendors, Joe, there's one of those fest. There's also a book fest.
Oh, okay.
We
We
have
haven't
some-
talked about the book fest.
Yeah, there's Gary Ivey
Mhm.
and what was the other name? There's Amy.
Oh, Amy McCorkle. She
Oh
has
my
an
gosh, yes.
amazing story, and
That
she's
name
been.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, she wrote
It
a
should be,
film,
too.
Letters to Daniel, I
Exact-
think, and it's
yes.
been very successful.
Letters. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, I
she's
am familiar with that.
multi-talented. She could do practically anything.
So you'll be able to get a chance to meet
Her.
these as
Yes.
And
well.
Gary, Gary's
Yes.
from Hawaii, but he's also an author and a script writer.
Mhm.
And he's
Yeah.
won numerous awards. So,
Yes. Deborah says yes. $10 for 3 days.
oh wow, okay, that's a
Guys,
good
such a
deal.
bargain,
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go get my ticket.
You
Yes,
should.
sir.
Yeah, I was
Everybody
gonna
should get their
ask
ticket.
if We're going to go check this out. Now, let me
Oh,
ask
absolutely.
this question because this is all new to me. Is this something that somebody who's never acted or anything like that before could go and get into? Make connections. To
Oh,
get into that?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Glad
Barbara
you said that. Very good. Yeah.
and Deborah's very, very big on students and really
Yes,
supporting students.
yes.
And I know last time there was a lot of young people there,
Mhm.
and so I think she's wanting to grow that even more. So
Yeah, because I know when we did that, pilot that we filmed, a lot of them were students.
Yes.
On the production end and that kind of thing. So I know that's where Deborah's heart is to not just, not only show the talent of other individuals, but those who have a passion for that type of ministry or that type of work. She really does promote that and tries to help them get involved.
Yeah, train up the
that.
next generation.
Exactly. So, that is one of the Deborah's real big on that, big promoter, big sponsor for that. And so there's so many people in Branson, and Deborah has said many times, because I know she's talked to film companies trying to get them to come into this area.
Yes.
Shelley Wagner, I believe, Shelley Wagner as well has talked, trying to get more. She's done Hollywood, and she's in Branson, has had a school, and they've tried to bring in more of those guys to bring in some of the filming in this area, because Branson, Missouri area, Southwest Missouri, whatever, Northeast Arkansas, whatever, has a lot of great area to film.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh,
A
yes.
lot of these films. You've got your plains, you've got your hills, you've got all these different areas.
Comes down to location.
There you go, right there. And we do have the location in this
Yes.
area. I know a lot of films are filmed in Georgia.
Right.
But I'm kind of partial. I'm from Missouri. Show me, and we definitely got the Show Me State in that area.
Well, and one thing that would be helpful, and I'm not sure what the status of that is, but I know they've been trying to bring back the Missouri Film Incentive, which gives tax incentives. They used to have one.
That just passed.
Did it
recently.
pass? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know the
So-
status of that. Maybe that will help, and hopefully it'll grow. That incentive will get even
Yeah.
bigger, because that's why Georgia gets so many people. And I think people don't realize it is an industry, and it brings a lot of jobs to the
It
area.
does, absolutely.
You've got to have food people, you've got to have, all kinds of rental people, and the film itself employs people. So yeah, hotels, they have to have a place to stay. So
I did a film back years ago in Ozark, and it was a Hollywood-based film. And man, I bet there was 150, 200 people that they were just bringing in, using your local economy.
Yes.
Bringing all these different people in, because they had people that worked construction, because they did some remodeling in some of the buildings for their sets. You had your food vendors, so there's a business on your vendors. They're not bringing them all the way in from Hollywood on those guys, especially your hotels, like you had said. those are huge for this area, and so it would be great to have that. Deborah said she just put a note here. What are y'all going to passes? Okay. We're going to give away some passes.
Oh, yay.
So
Right now.
I don't know about right now, but we are going to give, because you guys are going to be coming back.
Okay.
We're coming back.
You're coming back.
Are you sure you want to have us
There's a
back?
sequel?
Sequel.
This is part two.
Well, may I say I'd like to have a trilogy?
We're going to go.
Oh my
you know what?
goodness.
I'm mentioning trilogy.
Franchise. We've got a
Trilogy.
franchise.
Wow.
Here we go.
That's what Deb's doing with her movies.
That is
That's
true.
right. She
Okay.
is.
I got 4 minutes left, and real quick. Okay. I got to go back to one of my very first faith-based movies. Okay. 1974. They were traveling into all the churches, and we were watching it. One of the first, it wasn't the first one, but one of the first films about the rapture. You know which film I'm
Left
talking
Behind?
about? No.
Left
older than
Behind.
that.
What was
Thief
that?
in the Night
Oh.
series.
Yes, I remember that.
It was
Oh, I've
filmed in
never seen
Iowa.
those.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, in the scene where she goes into the church and the pastor's there by himself, because I've let another one down. That was the writer of Thief in the Night.
Really?
Okay, yes. So he passed away about 5 years ago, 6
Oh.
years ago. But how has the film, and we've only got a few minutes, so this is what we're going to leave off here. But real quick, how much has the film industry changed from the very first 1973 Thief in the Night series? If you remember the bell bottoms and all that. Granted,
We just watched that recently.
yeah,
Oh my
I've probably seen
goodness.
it 3 or 4 times. But
I think the faith-based industry has found a place and found its niche in the film industry, and even Hollywood has taken notice, and they want a piece of it. Of course, they just can't do it right, because they're doing it out of their mindset
Right.
and their worldview is not Christ-centered. But yes, we do have a great advantage, and we're increasing with the content, and the acting has been better quality, the directing, and we're just going to get improvement, I think, every year.
They're taking on some hard issues. I don't know right now in Angel Studios, they're trying to raise money for a film. It's called Pharma. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And it's a story in the 1950s. I think it's about when they gave a lot of women some medicine that caused a lot of birth defects.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
not a documentary.
Wow.
It is a film.
It's
And
Christian-based film?
it's Christian-based
Oh, my
film.
God.
I
Wow.
think maybe Lisa Arnold's involved with it. I'm not sure. She's done a lot of the God's Not Dead things, but this is nothing like that. And then we just had the Jesus Revolution. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I thought it
Phenomenal.
was very, very
Phenomenal.
well done.
We haven't seen
We haven't
Jesus
got to see it
Revolution
yet.
yet.
You will love it because to me it was like he was saying they're growing, and to me it's more sophisticated. It was very real, and it shows some of the hard things in life.
And
you know.
Christians aren't perfect, and the film will bring it
Yes,
out.
exactly.
Yes,
But the filmmaking in Jesus Revolution is top notch.
Yes, it was
Top-notch.
very, very well
Kelsey
done.
Grammer was so moved by that, and I watched his interview and said, "I got to see it just because I seen what happened
Yes.
to Kelsey."
Right.
Michelle, what about you? How far is the film industry on the faith-based film industry?
I think we have, like in music as well, we have kind of strived and clawed and been working, and God's been doing things all along, all the way through. And I know it may sound odd, and I don't like to give credit to COVID because I don't like to do that, but I felt like there was a significant shift in the open and availabilities when Hollywood shut down and all this
Good
kind of stuff. And I
point.
think
Good
the
point.
independent film in general, like it was like God kind of slungshot us. I'm a homeschool mom. I don't even know what I'm saying. Took a slingshot and slung
I
us
get
up
it.
a few levels. Yeah. Took up a
Well,
few
he was taking
levels
what was meant for
to
evil and turn it for good. So there you go.
absolutely. And that is my life verse. And I've seen that. And it's just opened up a whole lot of more possibilities and genres and availability and stuff. So that's where I see it's like it's been a slow, and kind of like when Jesus, died, and then all of the stuff, all of the disciples were able to go. It was like a significant shift when Jesus died and then rose again. All of this stuff opened, and then they had some time where they were able to go and preach the gospel way out of there. Even the
Absolutely.
leaders were sympathetic to the Christians, and then once it got spread, then everything then there was a lot of coming down on the Christians, and I can see that happening to us down the road. But
Absolutely.
right now it is the open window of time. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, I'm excited to go to the festival and see if I can get me a new job.
Guys, I want to thank you so much. Guys, our guest Wednesday, Reagan Sarton, author, amazing books. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 a.m. God bless, love you. See ya.
Be safe.